Yo, what is up guys? It is esports content entertainment coming at you guys with another video here today. And in today's video, this is actually going to be the channel update video that I said I was going to be doing for you guys, because in this channel update video, I'm going to be updating you guys on what is going to be happening with the channel. Also, I will be announcing a brand new series in this video. So we just went through the 2022 League of Legends offseason. All of the big news has already been talked about. Now, the other big news I will actually explain on the Cloud9 podcast that is going to be on Monday. But coming up in 2023, the Cloud9 podcast days are going to be very different, because as you guys already know, the LEC and the LCS for 2023 are going to be having different broadcast days, because previously the LEC was Friday and Saturday, and then the LCS was Saturday and Sunday actually. So that made it so I could just have the podcast earlier in the week, whether I wanted to have one that encompassed the LEC and the LCS together, or if I wanted to experiment like I did earlier this year, just having two separate shows, and the separate shows pertaining to the LEC and the LCS would just be like an hour and 30 minutes in general. So remember how I was experimenting with having the shows separate? That's how I'm gonna actually have to have the shows moving forward going into 2023, because the LEC, it's now been confirmed, it is going to be playing Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, as you guys know, I work Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And when I get off Monday, yeah, that leads into my 2 days off. But there won't be enough time to do the show on Monday, because I still have to digest all of the games I'm watching on Monday, right? And then I still have to kind of like, process my thoughts on what I've seen throughout the week actually. And that's the thing, is that when you now have the LEC broadcast days between Saturday and Monday, it just puts the Cloud9 podcast that you would have gotten on Monday to more or less so getting it on Wednesday. Now, the reason why the Cloud9 podcast has to be pushed for the LEC, at least on Wednesdays, because my 2 days off, I kind of like resting on Tuesday because it's my first day off, and I kind of just like to just chill and relax. Also, as you guys know, I have another YouTube channel where I put out a whole lot of content on, and if you guys want to see where I'm constantly at, go and subscribe to my main YouTube channel. Link will be in the description box below. But then the other thing that comes into the fray, which is the LCS now. The LCS, new days are Thursday and Friday. Now, as you guys know, I also work on Thursday. My work week actually begins on Thursday, and it leads into the afternoon of Monday, actually. So I actually can't go to the LCS anymore, just at least on Thursday. Friday, I would just have to schedule the day off, and then I could get to go on Friday, But with the LCS, that means the LCS, if I'm going to do a Cloud9 podcast on it, can't be obviously between Thursday and Friday now. It'll actually have to be closer towards Sunday. So the schedule for the Cloud9 podcast is going to be a bit different. And I know a lot of you guys have been accustomed to just doing it all together or just doing it separate. Well, it's gonna have to be separate now moving forward, because the days are so spread out, and I have to have the LEC, part for the Cloud9 podcast out before the LCS, and it has to come out before Saturday. So when it comes to just talking about the LEC and recapping the week of games, the Cloud9 podcast just for the LEC will either be on Tuesday or it's going to be on Wednesday. Most likely, it is going to be on Wednesday. For the LCS, the Cloud9 podcast pertaining to the LCS is actually just going to be more or less so probably on Saturday or Sunday. I've not kind of settled on a day yet, because Saturday I have another show that I do on my main YouTube channel already. But then again, maybe after that show, I can incorporate that on Saturday. So I'm still deciding on that right now, but most likely, if I'm doing a Cloud9 podcast just centering on the LEC, it is going to be on Wednesday. Still kind of deciding on, Saturday or Sunday or Monday to do the LCS Cloud9 podcast, right? And I know people are going to ask, like, what about the LPL and the LCK? Because I watch those too. If I'm going to talk about the LPL and the LCK, I'll just include that in either of the Cloud9 podcasts that I'm going to be doing throughout the week. So you're going to have two Cloud9 podcasts, and if I want to talk about the LPL or the LCK, I'll just do it when I have the time on those episodes, okay? So with that out of the way, that's the main part of what I want to tell you guys, because I know a lot of people have been accustomed to just doing it all together. That can't happen in 2023 because the days are just too spread out, and given my schedule right now with my other YouTube channel, it's just not going to match. But I can give you guys 2 Cloud9 podcast episodes. It's just going to be, one is the LEC and one is the LCS, and they're just going to have to be on different days moving forward. You know, it's just the best I can do, but at least you guys get more episodes in the Cloud9 podcast, which you guys obviously like, you know? So, moving on from that, you know, will I be covering Valorant as well? I just got into Valorant. I'm not very good at it at all. I literally streamed it like once. In the future, maybe I'll be watching the broadcast, because back when I was like really bad at playing League, I literally utilized the broadcast to basically self-teach myself how to play the game, you know, and among other like content creators as well. So I'm gonna actually have to watch the broadcast for Valorant to get better like I did back in the past. I thought to myself, if I did it for League, I can do it for Valorant, you know, or I could just have, you know, because like I don't like going through friends sometimes, because it can be kind of like just taxing to a certain reason. I don't want to like make someone lose games because I'm bad at something. I'd rather just like, you know, learn on my own. So yeah, Valorant Cloud9 podcast won't be a thing for the foreseeable future as of right now, because I'm still learning the game, right? But when I learn the game and get adept to like the storylines of the players and the organizations around me, and like how the game is structured, how the game is played, I don't even know how you win the game right now, let alone even play a character. So that's going to be in the future, and it won't be like a Cloud9 centric podcast on just Valorant. If I want to include Valorant stuff, then I'll just include it in the Cloud9 podcast episodes that I'm doing for the LEC and the LCS. Like when I mentioned talking about the LPL and the LCK, I'll just include it in those episodes if that happens to come up. I can talk about it on like a casual level about what I've seen throughout the broadcast days of when I'm watching the games. I could talk about that, you know, but it won't be anything like super in depth because I barely know the game right now. But that's the Valorant update for you guys. Okay, so after that, we are going to be having a brand new series. So you guys know that series that Monty and Thorin do called what's that series that they do on their channel? It's one where they kind of predict the games. Let me look it up right now. Last Free Nation. It's a series they do where they predict the games for the upcoming week. I always wanted to make sure I had a series like that, and I kind of had that back in the day. You guys, my older subscribers would know I had like a prediction series, you know, and I didn't really follow through with it after all these many years. Yeah, it's called Competitive Edge. Yeah, so I wanted to do a brand new series called Competitive Predictions, because there was predictions that I did back in the day for the LCS and the LEC, LPL, LCK. I want to bring that back and call it Competitive Predictions. It's gonna obviously the seasonal format like I've been doing with my other YouTube channel shows and this one as well. And we'll be predicting, you know, the matches for the upcoming week, you know? I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing LPL, LCK, LCS, and LEC. Not too much LPL because there's so many games. Unless there's a big marquee game, then I'll predict for it, like a RNG versus like a FPX, or like, you know, like a top esports versus like RNG. Unless they're like a big brand name in the LPL, then I'll predict for it. I mean, I'll be watching the LPL, but like prediction wise for their series is really, really crazy because there's 18 freaking teams, man. Then so for that, we're going to be doing predictions. So someone would say, what is like the bet or whatever? So the structure of it is, it'll be structured by just, I don't know, points or whatever. And whoever gets the most points, I mean, give someone like $20 in RP or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it right now. It's mostly going to be just for fun and just for bragging rights as of right now. So that's the newest series, Competitive Predictions. And we'll be predicting LEC games in the upcoming week, LCS, LCK especially. LPL is going to be harder to do, but it will only pretty much come down to like actual big brand teams that we know, JDG, Top Esports, RNG. You guys know all the big, you know, LPL teams, right? So that pretty much wraps that up. There's probably just there's really not going to be much to do in the off season, and this is going to be kind of like any future people subscribing to the channel that may come across this video. I could just link them to this video at this timestamp anyway, if they actually ask me about this. For any off season, what I normally do is I normally just take a break not from League itself, because I still play League. I even stream League on my main YouTube channel, actually. What I do is that I actually just kind of chill back and relax, because whenever a League season starts, if you're not really familiar with this, the League season starts in January, and you go through all of spring. You get that little mini, like, kind of 2-week break until MSI. Then you're watching all MSI. Then you get that little mini 2-week break before, you know, the summer split. Then you're into the summer split. Then you go through that. It's long and grueling because there's lower brackets for LPL, LEC, and the LCS. Then after that, you get like that mini, like 3-week kind of break before Worlds. You go through all of Worlds. Then after Worlds, you go through the off season. So there's not really a whole ton of free time when you're watching competitive League of Legends. So usually when it comes to competitive League of Legends in the off season, I kind of just chill back and relax. But I know you guys need content. So for any of the off seasons, not really last year because I kind of slacked off last year, as you guys know. I could have did way better last year in the offseason. I'll tell you that right now. That's why I made sure for 2022, I wanted to make sure I came back in full force with content for you guys. And I told you guys, sorry for 2021. I'm going to come back in full force with the offseason content for 2022. So what I've been doing in the past and what I'm going to tell you guys right now that I've been doing is I've just been doing pretty much like reaction videos to the team's announcement of their rosters if they have it in video form. There's been some teams that have done it through like Twitter posts or whatever like that. So if a LEC team or an LCS team announce their roster, I'll do a video reaction for you guys. And if I want to do some commentary videos, I'll do that. So it's mostly reaction videos and commentary videos. That's pretty much what I do. Or I'll just do like general discussion videos sometimes. That's kind of what the off-season content entails, because you can't really do Cloud9 podcasts in the off-season because there's no more news, you know? There just really isn't. Right? So Cloud9 podcasts go on for as much as there's news, and then when there's not news for this part of the year, it's essentially just over. You know, coming up right now, at the time of me recording this channel update video for Esports Content Entertainment, the new Cloud9 podcast, Season 6, Episode 14 is coming out. That's going to be the last one for 2022, and then that'll be kind of like an example I can use in this video to give you guys to show like when everything's done, then I just pretty much do discussion videos, reaction videos, and commentary videos. That's it, you know? But yeah, I didn't reach the goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers, you know, at the end of this year. It's fine. You know, we got really close. We have, 747? A huge boost in subs came in with the off-season content. So yeah, I mean, the off-season content for every year the channel's been around has did a very, very big boost in numbers. And I personally think that I just learn every year how to do it. I think this year was the best way of doing it, and I'm going to be doing that going into next year as well, or any future off-season, you know, that I'm going to be heavily involved in your multiple videos, rumors, all that stuff you guys will be getting, actually, you know? So, yeah, that is pretty much it. Nothing else to explain more here. Don't want to take too much of your time, actually. Just a little recap of what's going on. The Cloud9 podcast will be 2 episodes a week now. 1 LEC, 1 LCS, and if I want to talk about the LPL, the LCK, or Valorant, I'll talk about those in those episodes as well, right? The Cloud9 podcast for the LEC, Tuesday or Wednesday, still deciding, and the LCS, Cloud9 podcast episode between Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, give or take. Haven't really decided yet. You'll know what the structure is when you start getting them at a consistent rate coming into 2023. And also, we're going to be doing a new series called Competitive Predictions, predicting the matches coming up in the week in advance. And just want to let you guys know, when it comes to off seasons, those are the type of videos I do. Reaction videos, commentary, and discussions. That is it. So, thank you guys for your support. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. Comment down below. What do you guys think is going to be the best team for the respective regions? Who do you guys think is going to be the best team for the LCK, LPL, LEC, and the LCS for the 2023, winter split for the LEC, and the spring splits for the LPL, LCK, and the LCS? All right, see you guys later. I am MSK, and this is Esports Content Entertainment, your one place for esports content. All right, guys. Deuces. Peace.